And let's talk about the other twin story.
Yeah.
One
I know what you're
one that happened in Frisco, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
One kid stabbed another kid in the heart at a track meet.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony
Yeah.
stabs what's his name?
Dang.
I forget the other kid's
Yeah.
name. Much love to the guy. I mean, all due respect, but I mean, that's a tragic story right there. I mean, to think that I know only two of us have children on this podcast right now, but I mean, I know you have to think about the child 24/7 when they're not with you,
Mm-hmm.
and for something like that to happen, it's really no worse. But I wouldn't wish that on anybody,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that's
But I know it's a ongoing social media. It's more of a social media, this side versus that side thing. But in my personal opinion, it's something that should have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo should have never been in that tent
right.
to begin with.
Right. But
The kid should have never.
did you hear about the time that they given the boy?
He had no trial yet.
No, I'm just saying what he's looking against, because they are really looking to really throw the whole book at the boy compared to the other Caucasian kid that shot up. I forgot where it was, man. I know they had it, and he killed multiple people, and they gave him a light sentence, and they were the same age. The boy was 17. I have to really look it up. But it was an incident where he killed about 6 people, injured like 17, and they gave him a lesser sentence than a boy that was defending himself.
I really we gotta look it up. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dang, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember where it was at. I was trying to see if I had it real quick.
But he could be looking up to whatever, but they haven't tried him yet. So I mean, he doesn't have any time yet.
Yeah,
and he could take.
But
I know,
it shows you how. What
I said, probably have to take either a plea deal or take it to trial if you want to fight it for lesser charge.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me ask a question.
What can he? Huh?
I was about to say, let me ask a question. What would y'all do in that situation?
Oh, no.
Do y'all know
the kid situation?
Did y'all know allegedly he was bullied or something like that while he was going to that school?
Yeah.
So if you constantly getting bullied, you know what I'm saying? What would y'all do in that situation?
Yeah. Well, the thing was, that's the bully thing. They didn't even go to the same school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't. That whole bully thing was an incident that happened in that tent, and the kid shouldn't have been in that tent in the first place, especially with a knife. Yeah. So, and the other kid should have never put his hands on him. So it's two situations. If one doesn't happen, none of the situation happens.
Exactly.
If Carmelo's not in that tent, which he's not supposed to be, the other kid doesn't take it upon him to do what he did, and nobody's dead.
Right. Exactly.
So if you go in a tent premeditated with a knife already, it's like, why do you go into somebody's tent, have a knife? You premeditating something. Yeah. The social media wants to make it a black and white issue, but it's not. It's a right or wrong issue.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Carmelo started off in the wrong.
But
it is what it is. If those are the facts, the story is.
I think
but how I look at it, bro.
No, I was saying that going off what Mook said, it's more of not about him doing what he did to the boy. It's about basically the dirt that's being thrown on the boy they're looking at it as almost a murder compared to self-defense. You know what I'm saying? And the black community is like, why are you jumping into that when you had other situations where you guys, just because he's, African-American individual. But, and I think that's kind of what people are looking at, not, the boy, more of their relationship is very sad of what he did to the boy, but at the same time, he was defending himself. And you have every right to defend yourself.
That is true.
So, I mean,
yeah,
But
it's like this. You have certain what?
No, I was about to say but I wouldn't go that far as pulling out a knife to stab you in your chest because you bullying.
So what was the other kid doing?
You know what I mean? Or messing with me.
What was he doing to him to make him pull out the knife? Like the bullying style? Was he like just talking to him, yelling, or actually putting his hands on him, trying to kill him?
Well, he did. Yeah, he did. He was in his tent. He told him this ain't your tent to leave, and he was like, the kid put out a knife, and he said, "Touch me, and you gonna see what happens." And the dude touched him, which he shouldn't have touched him. He should have, a teacher should have. But
yeah.
So Carmelo was in the wrong. So Carmelo was in the wrong.
Yeah, Carmelo shouldn't have been in there in the first place. And then what are you gonna check me with a knife in your bag for?
Exactly. So yeah. So
who had the weapon?
But
who had the weapon?
Carmelo.
Okay, and
he was Carmelo
and
defending himself. That's the story.
Well, it changes for me.
Well,
I don't know, like because
the story is the social media is the his side versus that side, but the way the law is going to look at it is you for what you did caused this whole situation. And yes, you did defend yourself, but you never had to in the first place if you had
that's kind of
what you did.
Now, like
if
that's the case,
because they said he was being bullied. They didn't tell you that they didn't go to the same school. He was talking about bullied from that tent.
Yeah.
But listen, one thing. So you could no longer use self-defense if you're in an area in which you were never invited to. You don't belong to. How can you? That's like somebody breaking in my house. He hurt me and saying it was self-defense.
Well, you have a slim case for us. Just because he did touch him, he still grabbed him, and it's still he stabbed him in murder, but he still did get grabbed. So it's a rocky situation.
Yeah, it is.
Like the boy had another option. Like the boy, instead of touching Carmelo Anthony, he could have actually went.
He could have backed away and talked to
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a rocky situation to where, a lot of things could have went the other way if he shouldn't have been in that tent in the first place.
I mean, like on even like playing both sides, like even like the twin that has to deal with that, like that's so tough. Even being having a brother that was stabbed and it could have went the other way. You know what I mean? You never know. Like, luckily he got through it, but his brother didn't, and he got to live with that. Like for the rest of your days,
he died in his arms.
Your brother because of this incident you never expected. Just like the same thing.
Yeah.
You think your brother just going out to have a good time, then you get a phone call, he no longer here because something happened.
Yeah,
that you didn't expect. Like, but he actually has to live through that. And I only can imagine. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
Now speaking to the fathers up here, I don't know if you saw the interview with the dad, but he said, I already forgive him. How easy is that? Or how hard would it be to say, I forgive my son's killer?
You can go ahead, go first, boo. Go first.
My child's killer,
I don't know. To be honest, man, I mean, some people may be stronger than others, but I can't sit up here and say that I'll just straight up forgive them. I mean, it would depend on the circumstances, but at the same time, it's like, that's something nobody wants to even fathom. So it's kind of a hard situation, because me, I'm humble for the most part, but I can be anybody can go left. It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Everybody's capable of blacking out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Some things can be beyond your control.
Like I completely agree with Dion. Yeah, I completely agree with him, man. Because that's a hard decision to make, like to forgive him or not to forgive him. You know what I mean? But most likely 9 times out of 10, being a father, you're gonna end up like forgiving him because that's your son. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna forget what he done. But Yeah, I completely agree with everything Darren was saying. You know what I mean?
Right. But
Yeah. I
what's
mean,
the other option though? Like, so you just gonna forever hold this grudge on your heart until the rest of your days
No,
when it's not gonna change anything? So you literally have no other
it.
option but to forgive.
exactly.
I mean, no. There's always options. There's always
What's your other
options, but
option? Like go after or kill him?
like
It's
you just,
not gonna change a
yeah,
damn thing.
I wouldn't even.
yeah. It might not change, but that's still a person's child. So it's like to tell somebody how to be offended. They sometimes they can hold that
Right,
grudge forever. You
And
know.
I've
You know
thought
what?
that
But
too.
I
I've
wouldn't even.
always no, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't even call it forgiving. I more so
Mm-hmm.
in that peace with it. I wouldn't. I mean, I can
Yeah, I can see.
say
Okay,
forgiving,
Yeah,
but I can be
yeah,
at peace.
yeah,
That that's what
I can see that.
I do
yeah.
is be at peace. Forgiving. I mean that's kind of it's in the same. It's in the same realm, but I'd rather be at peace in it than forgive it. Forgiving is almost like
I
totally
agree.
Xing that out. Like it don't matter to the other. That's something that was going to forever scar you. And the best thing you can do for yourself is be at peace with it. But
Yeah,
forgiveness,
Yeah.
be at peace than forgive. Forgiving in certain circumstances means you kind of excuse the behavior. I really couldn't see myself doing that. I can be at peace with it. I don't know
mm,
about forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm. But even like Pookie said
That's a
though,
good way to
I look at
explain
situations like that though. I still look at situations like you said, like like I could be mad right now, but what is going to take? What is going to get me? You know, I still look
it.
at a lot of things like that, but
Right,
it's just like
but that's I'm sorry, Mook. Did I didn't mean to
no. Go ahead.
interrupt
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, but that's the concept that you want to have literally with everything. Like, what is the point of really anything if you really think about it? Like, you're mad at somebody, but you're the only one feeling that pressure, that heat that you're putting
Mm-hmm.
upon
Mm,
yourself, and that person just moved on with their life. And you just like, oh, I'm so pissed, and you know what I mean? Like, what is the point of holding that? Like, why do you ever even get upset? Like, what is the purpose? So, like, for to even just have the mindset of always being positive, like it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, like, the world would be such a better place, man. Like, I have to learn that too, of like just releasing, kind of that kind of pressure that I apply to myself. And I'm sorry to just go off topic like that, but I was just thinking, like, why would you? Same thing. Like, yes, his son was murdered, but or unalived. Excuse me. And but why would he hold? I know that pain is real because you miss talking to the person, but it's like at some point you were gonna have to split. You know what I mean? Like you have to be comfortable with, that part of life. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's the worst part. And people be like, yo, I would never forgive him. Why not? What would
mm,
hold you back from forgiving? Nothing.
mm.
Hating a person is not gonna reverse time. Like, you know what I mean? Holding on to that, that anger. So like what's the point of it all? Like you get what I'm saying? Like why do people get mad at other people? Like I hear so many road rage stories of someone cut you off. That's literally all it was. They cut you off. Like you but people are willing to die over that disrespect because people feel like it's on that level because I'm angry. You're putting that pressure on yourself because you feel like you deserved a certain way, but you got something different. You ask
Mm.
why did I have to go through this and feel disrespected? Now I have to show you that you should have respected me, so I'm gonna kill you. Like I'm gonna unalive you. And I just don't really understand that. Like just talking about it myself, but I have a problem with that being angry at something when it literally does not matter. It does not change anything to begin with. If that makes sense. I'm sorry.
It makes perfect
No,
sense.
I mean everything you say. No, everything you saying
Yeah,
is spot on.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
like literally, you have a choice. You have a choice of being angry at the situation or just dealing with it. Like you said, it is what it is. And I think if more people looked at situations like that, man, there'd be so many people alive, man. Because like people would die over Jordans. Somebody roll up on you like,
That is
give me
true.
them J's. They like, hell no, I'm gonna fight for these J's. I ain't no punk. Hey, take them. But
Mm-hmm.
people like that
Yeah.
ego plays a huge part in that. Like people's ego just destroys people. It's that demon and angel on your shoulder, and you like, do I take the high route or the low? You know what I mean? And everybody always like respect is like the biggest form of currency, you might say, like that transfer. You know what I mean? And like we use the word
Mm-hmm.
respect, but it's an energy that you want to feel from something. You want to feel high. You want to gain that almost that battery from that person to feel better. But when they kind of drain you, when you're negative, kind of drains your energy, and it puts you in that low vibration of like staying in an angry mood, and it won't change nothing, but you just telling yourself, your ego is just telling you, ooh, he disrespected you. You ain't nothing. You know what I mean? And you just going off of that ego, and people, feel comfortable killing somebody. Because if you really think about it, like, how are you comfortable taking someone's life? Like you have to be in a
Mm-hmm.
certain mental state to get to that point. You can't just be at a normal state of mind and be able to do that. So you have to be in that low state of mind to, you know what I mean, deepen that ego. Only your ego could have you do something like that when you feel that you're at a negative vibration from this person and you're able to kill that person. Like I'm telling you, like you cannot just do that being regular. Like I cannot see any three of you guys being able to do such thing. You know what I mean? Not legally, but I don't know. I don't know.
Man, I mean, Pook, I ain't gonna lie. Not only do you look like Uncle Josiah, you preach like him too.
For real, bro. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was going in and out. Like I understood what you were saying, but I was like, God dang, boy,
Yeah.
man, you preaching, boy.
But yeah, you preaching. But I mean, it goes. What? So I got another question for you. So what does it say about going back to the
Yeah.
black and white thing, right? He a black kid. Are our kids or are black people in general? We have a how do I put this? Like a sensitivity to like respect or disrespect or something like that. Like to where we got to get super
Right.
emotional
Exactly.
and make mistakes
Exactly.
like this.
It's
You know
huge.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's and I think kind of like that's what you were touching on too. But I think we're too sensitive as a people.
Absolutely.
I feel like and then we have to respond in such an emotional, reckless way.
Yeah.
That's why I said in the beginning, like this really should have never happened if he hadn't just went in the wrong tent and then, or just said, "Oh my bad, I am in the wrong
Right.
tent. I know it's raining out here," or he could just ran to his
Right.
own
He
tent,
just left. Like, all right, whatever. I'm out.
and I'm not blaming it on him. The other kid was, I mean, God rest his soul, he was in the wrong too. He should have never grabbed this kid.
Yeah, I got
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't all on Carmelo. It was,
right. Exactly, but you could never hear that
But didn't
boy's
he
side
give
of
him?
the story.
Didn't he
Well,
give him a warning? Like he was reaching into his bag, like
yeah,
giving him a warning. So if he
before the
was
knife
giving you a
out.
warning, yeah. So if you notice this man got a knife, I would have backed off. I'm like, yo, you got that. And then I would have went and told somebody else.
I don't.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
That ego, man, ego get you killed.
I went back and told the teacher or whoever. Yeah.
Right, the coach could have
But
got
at the
that
same
done.
time, at the same time, what I've noticed, I'm not trying to be funny with the younger crowd, none of that stuff. But it seemed like a lot of the younger crowd don't know how to use hands. You know what I'm saying? At least if you use hands, everybody gonna walk away instead of using a weapon. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not. Yeah, there's no. This culture of young kids is all about. They don't understand that life ain't no video game. Once it's over, it's over.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't cool to get shot or shoot and all this stuff. They think it is. They think it's a game out here, and It's not. They don't have any appreciation for their life or anybody else's life. You know.
Yeah, they ain't normal.
Now that's why they willing to go kill or spend the rest of their life in prison.
Yeah.
You know, because they think it's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
different.
surely do.
They different. Yeah, these kids are definitely different, man. Them kid boys out there. I heard too many stories.
Yeah.
Look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me?